Ladies and gentlemen, no, your eyes are not deceiving you. Yes, I say that a lot when we always away for a long time. But we're back at it again with just me and the bulldozer. Introduce yourself, my friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, the biggest and baddest in KBW. And normally, me and AK would be coming at you with happier times, but unfortunately, a few weeks ago, we lost not only a podcast brother, but a real life brother, someone we gotten close to. He goes by the name of Fuego del Sol. We thought that for you, those of you that didn't know the news, Fuego del Sol was unmasked, and we thought maybe he would live a happier life outside of retiring and wrestling, but unfortunately, that was not possible. Unfortunately, Fuego del Sol had to pass away even after wrestling. But I don't want to say anymore. Let's just roll the clip.
We are gathered here today to lay to rest the career of Fuego del Sol. Fuego del Sol's story is truly tragic. Can you imagine getting swept up in a groundswell of love and support? To be co-signed by some of the biggest names in professional wrestling? To have millions witness you achieve your dreams on national television? Just to be regulated to a sidekick loser who was slowly forgotten about and let go. Fuego del Sol is dead. But Fuego del Sol did not die when this mask came off. Oh no, he died on July 1st, 2023, when he became a free agent. And for nearly 2 years, I have kept him on life support, hoping any company would come revive him by scooping him up and realizing they could let all this money sit on the table. But alas, no one came. And for 2 years, I have masqueraded around as something I am not. And no matter how positive or motivated I was, no amount of hard work could respark the flame that had already burned out. Fuego del Sol is dead. And in that time, I've tried to suppress this anger that has been raging within me. But for better or for worse, it finally got out, and it is damn scary just how much I like it. You may have knew me as Fuego del Sol. Hell, some of you may have known me as Cage. But from now on, you will call me by my God-given name, and my name is KJ Orso. Hello world. You may have thought that Fuego del Sol was buried a long time ago, but KJ Orso is the man that puts the final nail in his coffin. But do not get it twisted. Every so-called Fuego fan that stopped watching, that stopped cheering, that stopped caring, all had a hand in digging his grave. Fuego del Sol is dead. Cage lives. I will no longer answer to the dead name of Fuego del Sol, but the whole wrestling world will now answer to the name of the silver-tongued savant, KJ Orso.
Hello, world. I heard you been looking for me. Hey!
Well, baby. Cage lives. Fuego del Sol is dead. And Cage lives. You know, I never stopped going by the name Cage. If anybody ever called me that, I'd answer, no problem. But damn, it feels good to take that mask off and show this goddamn gorgeous face, first of all. But it almost feels reinvigorated, to revive, to bring back the persona, the man known as Cage, now also going by KJ Orso, the government. You know what I'm saying? What up, boys? How we feeling? It's been too
Oh
long.
man, I feel like I know we've done the pods, I know we've interacted in real life, but just to see you unmask for the first time in God, how long? How long has it been? Jesus, it's just surreal.
Over 10 years.
I mean, besides that Monday Night Raw match in 2020, 10
Not,
years.
no, it didn't happen. But
That's just a part of the lore.
it's crazy, man. I mean, you know, there's so much to talk about, so much. But I just want to start off by just the basic stuff. Like, how does it feel personally? Because KBW fans, us, we know you as Cage. They already knew what you look like, but you know, we had to keep it going with the Fuego stuff. You had to every pod, even though everybody knew what Cage looked like, you had to wear the mask, you had to keep kayfabe, and just how does it feel to be able to finally take it off and show your face again?
It feels freeing, It feels I feel great. I think people would always say that. People would be like, "Oh man, we watched you in KBW. We know what you look like." And I'm like, "Yes, but the people that didn't watch me in KBW, they didn't know what I would look like." And like, no matter what, if you knew what I looked like when I was 18 years old, you don't know what I look like right now as a 29-year-old man in 2025. And so, like, there was still some ambiguity that I enjoyed keeping and trying to keep that kayfabe of it all. Um, and just I feel like there was a lot of people that had no clue about KBW. They had no clue to Google me and look me up. So if I play into that and I post on socials without the mask, I feel like you lose a sense of what makes the mystery so great. Like even today, even though we all know what Rey Mysterio looks like, there's lore. There's like a weird sense if you see him without the mask. If there's a weird feeling it always I enjoyed the ambiguity and I enjoyed earning that mask and earning the name and immersing myself in lucha libre culture. But I felt like for the longest time, even before I got signed to AEW, there had been a lingering thought in my head of what if Cage returns? What if Cage comes back? What if I I channel that that young kid who had nothing to lose and who was passionate as hell about pro wrestling and had an ego bigger than this whole damn house? What if I rechanneled that and brought that into the pro wrestling world? And here we are. April, I lost my mask. GCW, maybe one of the best matches of Fuego's career against Atticus Kogar in front of over 1,000 people. George Janela Spring Break. Mask versus career, and I lost. Um, and I left my boots in the ring, and it left so many questions. Everyone assuming that I'd retired. Some people thinking that, oh, this is all a setup. Some people just enamored by how damn charming and good looking I really am. Um, and, some just proud to see Cage's face again. So I went through the gamut of emotions. You know what I'm saying? I went through the whole feeling of every which way. Like it was cool because it was like it's kind of like throwing your own funeral in a sense because you get to see how people really feel about you. I had so many messages from colleagues and fans and other pro wrestlers that are like, "Hey, are you really done? Is this over? Thank you so much for everything. You're super incredibly talented." Things of that nature that like made me feel real good, but really only made me more excited for what is to come. And what is to come now, as you guys saw in that video, KJ Orso, Cage lives, baby.
I think it's bittersweet, that you say that because in my mind, just running through it as you say that, KJ Orso started KBW. KJ Orso trained to become a professional wrestler. KJ Orso took that leap to become Fuego, and as great as Fuego was, as many accomplishments he did for you, I feel, and I mean no disrespect for this, I feel as though maybe you got comfortable with that. And so it took KJ Orso to take this other leap and say, I'm done with it. It's time to make another big splash, another big move in my career. And time will tell, but going off interaction so far, I think is gonna be a phenomenal move.
Yeah, I do definitely think it's was the for the best. I feel like and everyone, some people have asked me this, and I really haven't delved into it too much, but I got released from AEW on July 1st of 2023. And it's been damn near 2 years, coming up on 2 years. And I have not been signed to any other company. No other companies have reached out to me besides, the little bit of times that I went back to AEW and Ring of Honor. And as a father of 3 girls who has giant responsibilities, I knew if I want to keep pursuing this, coming up on 30 and really reflecting on my life and my bank account and things of that nature, I knew I needed to bet on myself, take a leap of faith, switch things up, get a new fresh coat of paint in here. And even though it's a fresh coat of paint, it is a giant callback to what millions of people once saw me as. And I think with a combination of that and now showing everyone who the matured version of Cage is as KJ Orso, I think is a fun experiment. And not only is it doing crazy numbers on social media, it's got me more excited about pro wrestling than I ever have been before.
Yeah, I mean, it's so surreal, for me to watch it unfold because we grew up together. We started training together, um, and obviously, like we can get into the story on how we both became masked wrestlers at first. Well, I mean, I guess my first match wasn't in the mask, but uh, the whole idea was eventually us to be like a tag team. It was like fire and ice thing. We can jump into that.
Yeah, real quick. I want to explain that real
Yeah.
quick. Right, when me and AK first started, we were going to be a tag team known as Fire and Ice.
Yeah.
Fuego y Hielo. Right? In Spanish, Fuego is fire, Hielo is ice, and we were going to be Fire and Ice.
Yep.
However, we also wanted to wrestle each other for our first match, and so he had his alter ego, AK-47.
Yep.
And what the independent scene quickly found out was what all the KBW people already knew about. And is that if you put Fuego versus AK in whatever iteration Cage versus AK is in right now, in a ring together, it's fucking good.
Yeah.
And they realized that, and they were like, oh, we're just going to keep booking this match as many places as possible. And I think at that time, Cage was a babyface and AK-47 was a heel. So to try to bring AK over to that babyface side when he was just so good at being an asshole, it was kind of just difficult. And I think that's why you didn't end up wrestling in the mask often.
Right, yeah.
Maybe only, 3-4 matches ever? Did you wrestle in that gear, the blue gear?
Yeah, the blue gear.
I'm going to put up photos of this, too.
Yes, the blue gear, maybe like 3 or 4, I would say. Because I remember the one we did, it was like a weird show where we was in the gear, but we didn't wear the mask. Remember that was at the
that happened multiple times.
Yeah.
So, like, at anytime we did shows in our hometown of Mount Vernon, we didn't wear masks.
Everybody knew us, so.
Or like we wore them to the ring and then didn't wear them the whole time. Does that make sense? So it's like, because our whole hometown already knew us, like, I'm sorry, but my cousin in the front row is not going to be yelling Fuego. I just became Fuego. He's going to be yelling my real name,
Yeah.
And so I guess I have wrestled as KJ Orso as a young man. I didn't even think about that, but I did wrestle as KJ Orso and not as Fuego at that time. But continue on with your main story. Like, originally we were both supposed to be masked. You saw that, and then what?
Yeah, like I said, I saw that because I remember our trainer, that was his big thing at first with us. Is like, because I remember him, like, because obviously when we both started training, you didn't have the mindset of, oh yeah, I'm going to be a masked wrestler. You didn't think you was going to become Fuego at that time. You thought, oh yeah, I'm going to be, who I am, Cage. You probably had that character in mind, just like I had AK-47 in mind coming into it. And our trainer was like, he wanted the best for us. He's like, well, I want you guys to look so good. So when you eventually like take the mask, like he wanted us to be under mask because no one knew who we kind of were, and we get the kinks out when we first start, like our first year or two, try to get.
Yeah, I think I think the best way to put it is like he wanted us to have a safety net.
Yeah.
And so like even if we sucked for the first 6 months, we're under mask.
Exactly.
So then eventually when the mask come off, like once we eventually get good, we can take the mask off, right? However, we were also 130 pounds at the time, if that, right? And so like the mask helped add it like a little bit of mystique to us. and made us not look like we were just small boys out there, really. Because and at the end of the day, we're 18, 17 years old. And for me, it just kept snowballing to where it was like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh, yeah.
I kept getting bookings and, kept growing as a wrestler when I moved away into Oklahoma. Continue your story.
Yeah, because like I remember the first time you came out and the pop you got from that. I remember it too. The George Lopez theme song. It was this
Slow
low
rider,
rider,
ride,
dude. It was
duh.
this because I remember like the first time you coming out and you just had that big smile on your face. You
You talking about our first match ever?
yeah, first match ever, and like you could just instantly everyone loved Fuego. I just felt it. Like I feel like everybody at that time just like, man, oh yeah, Fuego, because you had the hips thing. You was dancing. You was being funny with it.
Shaking hips and doing flips, baby.
Yeah.
Shaking hips and doing flips. That was my catchphrase for a bit of time.
And everyone was just excited and like cheering you on. Like they was really behind Fuego, and it was so easy to chant Fuego, Fuego. It was like it just fit, and
It worked.
It worked, and
It worked.
And I feel like that gave you confidence. Like, oh, I can actually like people like this character. I can really push this forward, and also the different. I feel like when you eventually got to Oklahoma, then like get on your own, the merch starts getting involved. I'm like, well, I'm a mask wrestler. I can sell masks, and that'd be perfect to sell merch for. And then that snowballed effect, and you start seeing how much people love the mask and bought the mask, and kids coming to shows now with mask on. Why are you wrestling? It just became this big thing. Then, then, then you was like, well, if this, like you said, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And for a long time, you was getting a lot of bookings for being Fuego, a lot of pops. Then that whole AEW thing happened. You definitely didn't want to switch it in because like it was such a huge vlog thing when you was Fuego with Sammy's vlog, and that was doing great at the time. Then everything looked on the up and up. Then as soon as AEW released you, it was like, oh well, damn, what's next? And you kept trying to go back and like see if I remember you saying like even when you was still signed, you was like I remember you saying pitching to Tony, it's like, should I drop the mask? Like, do you still believe me? Do you believe in Fuego? Like, I do anything for you. What do you need? Is like because you wanted more bookings in AEW. You wasn't getting used a lot, so you was trying to pitch as much as you can. It's like, hey, like I don't want to be this joke character. I don't want to be like this a jobber as Fuego. Like if that's what y'all see Fuego as, like I don't want Fuego to be that. And I feel like that kind of snowballed from there a little bit.
I agree, and I think that's one of the main reasons I wanted to drop the mask to begin with. Is that I for better or for worse, and it got me to where I'm at now. So I'm not gonna shit on it at all.
Yeah.
But for better or for worse, I was a goofy comedy sidekick character, right? And I wasn't Fuego del Swole yet.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't put on all this weight and grew into my body and grew as a wrestler and become as confident as I am today. And I can understand maybe I try to be self-reflective. I try to be my own biggest critic. Maybe my size was holding me back.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried my damnedest to fix that to where I don't look out of place now, right? I just talked to Matt Cardona, who was Zack Ryder in WWE, and I was like, hey, I was about to do this giant attack on Sam Stackhouse. I was like, hey, should I cut the sleeves off this shirt? And he's like, brother, you're jacked. Cut the sleeves. And I was like, damn, Cardona Zack Ryder just called me jacked? I feel good right now, dog.
Yes.
And like, I know he's hypercritical of wrestlers not being in shape. So for him to give me that compliment, brother, talk about feeling gassed up, dog. Do you know how many gay men are in my DMs right now trying to holler at your boy? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I took this mask off and people kept using the Squidward meme of like, oh no, he's hot. And it's like, it's so funny, brother. They've been gassing me up for weeks now, and like the comparisons to what people think I look like are hilarious.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Right? I'm getting Anthony Ramos from Hamilton,
oh yeah.
the one who played the son.
Oh yeah, that guy.
And, yeah, and I'm getting Daniel Garcia because I definitely, when my head is low, I could see a little bit of similarities. Yeah. I'm getting the DeBarge family of like the old R&B group. I've gotten Tony Hinchcliffe, but I think that's just the facial hair is similar. Yeah, I've gotten everything under the sun. It's really ridiculous of how many people. Let's say from the side, I look like the guy who plays Hellboy, the one that was in Sons of Anarchy, the older man.
Ron
I can't
Perlman?
think of his name. Ron Perlman. Yeah, they said from the side. when I come in with my glasses on my promo, they start to look like Ron Perlman. So like I've gotten a ton of, but for the most part, they're like, "Damn, he looks good," and I'm like, "Thank God I've grew my hair out a little bit and
Grew some facial
put on a
hair.
little bit of weight." Yeah, grew some facial hair. Because if you compare this photo to that Raw match in 2021, I look like a whole different person.
Yeah,
I look like I ate that.
the
guy.
hair wasn't working at that time, bro. I know you was trying to do
No,
something.
bro, I never. It was COVID. Well, it wasn't even COVID yet, but it was. I was trying to grow my hair out just to see what it would look like. Cause as a kid, when I was building my character on all the video games, I always made myself have long hair.
Mhm.
Right?
Me too.
But it wasn't for me. And now
We can all dream.
But now the hair is like at a length that I like. You know, it matches the facial hair. I put on all this weight. Things are on the up and up, and the numbers have been incredible. The numbers that I got when I unmasked and left my boots in the ring skyrocketed. The match itself of George Another Spring Break skyrocketed.
Oh yeah.
2 weeks go by. I return at GCW. I beat the ever loving hell out of my best friend, Sam Stackhouse. Took all my anger out on him. Took the anger that I felt when the bulldozer turned on me at freaking at Renegade Revolution. Not Renegade Revolution. What was it? At
All or nothing.
At All or Nothing. And I double stomped Sam Stackhouse's head like I had wrapped that chair around the bulldozer's neck. That's what I did in that moment. And then I completely flipped everything on its head. All the things that I've built in the past 11 years as Fuego del Sol, I burned to the ground.
Yeah.
All in one
Those
night.
Rocket League streams with Sam's will be very interesting now.
I'm not playing with that son of a bitch anymore. What do I look like?
No, but
Maybe for money. If he puts some money on the line, I'll play.
Well, I think
against
that's
him.
I think that's a good point for me to be able to pivot to right now. I wanted to ask about, it's interesting you have that heel turn, and God, it's been so long since you've been a heel now, because even at the end of KBW, you were a face, you were the good person. AK's the dick. And I
Still
think
is.
I think it's undoubtable. KJ Orso, Fuego del Sol, incredible wrestler. No one can deny that. But I think Fuego held you back when it comes to on the mic, promos, talking. And now, the world really gets to see what you can do. And not only are you an incredible wrestler, but you get to put that, as you like to say, silver tongue savant to work and show people what you got, which I think your on the mic skills, I'm not going to say are better than your wrestling, because you are an incredible wrestler, but are up there on par.
I agree, and I think that's the funniest thing. Cause like I put this promo out, and there's somebody. Oh my god, what an incredible! I didn't know he had this in him. I never seen this before, and I'm thinking like, if you watched KBW, brother, I've had this in me since I was 15 years old.
Mm-hmm. Another thing though, I want to say, like, you had great promos as Fuego that you put out before though. But
Thank you. People don't pay attention. I'm a loser. Nobody pays attention to the loser.
But I think
that's what it was.
That's what I think it is though. Like, because you like when out at the surface, if someone looked at you, right, and it's like, oh, that's a luchador. That's. But the way you talk,
they don't think of luchadors as promos, guys, and then my voice doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This doesn't
mask.
translate well with your accent and everything when you actually doing promos. But with the mask off, people can finally see it. Like, oh, like your mannerisms and everything. That's actually translating more well without the mask. Because I feel like with the
better, that's translating better. Absolutely.
Because with the mask, like obviously you had the passion, you were still like firing up with the mic skills and everything with Fuego. It's just like it was hard for people to connect because the mask was kind of like a barrier. They couldn't really fully grasp it.
Brother, I emote so much with my eyebrows, and no one has seen this for 11 years. There'll be times in matches where I'm making faces where I'm like, and no one can even tell what the hell I'm doing with my eyebrows. Nope. So like it doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Like I can go big-eyed and like Taz is just gonna make fun of my eyes on commentary because he can't see my eyebrows. And like there's a reason we develop these facial features as human beings during evolution, because clearly it's a way to translate your body language to let people receive and see my emotion. And so like that was another thing. When I was about to attack Sam Stackhouse, like I was freaking out in the back because I'm like, damn, I gotta think about how I'm looking. What is my facial expression is gonna be? And like some people like said I ducked lips too much because I was like,
yeah.
Like, but I was trying to just show how pissed off I was. And like, I think I over emote with my mouth because I've only had that to emote with for so long. And so it's hard for me to adjust now till I have my whole entire face to emote with, which I still think my facials were incredible.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone could feel my anger. Even though if they didn't know why I was angry, they could feel my anger when I beat the ever loving shit out of Sam Stackhouse. If you haven't seen me beat up Sam Stackhouse, you should go to my social media.
It's great.
And do that now. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. It was.
And like that just got so much buzz too. I think that the beatdown as well as the promo that we played got so much buzz, and I feel like fans who overlooked me, who never watched my dark matches, who never watched the vlog, who never watched KBW, who never watched these promos that AK was talking about, now they are now awake.
Yes.
To holy shit, this kid is talented. Holy shit, we need to start paying attention to this kid. And so like that's what I wanted. That was my vision for all of this, and I feel like it's all played out to a T. And I'm like, I'm just so pumped for the future. Like I'm adjusting my move set. No more high flying. No more tornado DDTs. Really wrestling like the heel that I want to be and that I wanted to wrestle if I was a babyface. And so I'm excited to keep working on my moves and my facial expressions and my promos. And I'm excited for everyone to see it. And like now I get to have matches like this and just like I'm never gonna stop with the promos.
Yes.
You know, I'm trying to debate if I want to cut one more, kind of introducing this new type of gimmick that I'm dropping, or if I just want to wait and try to incorporate that into the Sam Stackhouse promo in Rochester on May 18th, because I will reveal why I did that to Sam on May 18th in Rochester, New York for Game Changer Wrestling.
Hell yeah, dude.
And
I'm excited.
I was just gonna say, I think and we kind of touched on it, but it just comes with a respect factor now, right? Like I remember, I've been this has been on my mind for a while, but I remember I think it was the night you got signed with AEW, and even Taz said on commentary, "Oh, what kind of luchadors from Alabama?" And it's just kind of like you said. I feel like even with the great promos, with everything, there was no respect there for the character, but now almost immediately, you just garnish this higher level of respect, and people are just like, oh my god, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think I had to totally flip the script, and that's why it literally was 11 years of anger and frustration and being overlooked and underestimated, all being let out through that chair shot on Sam Stackhouse. And I can't wait. I can't wait to just keep cutting promos and proving all these people wrong. And they're going to act like I'm an overnight success as KJ Orso when this was 11 years of hard work.
What did they say? What they say when someone, a plant. They're going to think you're a plant. What's it called?
Industry plant.
It's so funny when they say that to some like artists and stuff. It's like, bro, he's been doing this for like 10 years. He finally made it.
Grinding, bro. Freaking grinding for so long. And like, but I feel like, I've always wanted to be taken serious. And like, this is the moment. I got to strike while the iron's hot. I got to keep this momentum. I got to keep building myself up in GCW. And I just have no doubt in my mind at all that I'm going to be signed by this time next year.
Yeah.
If I was putting, right now it's May 8th, 2025, as of the moment we filmed this. And I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know what company is going to be too.
I'm going to give you a goal.
But by this time next year,
I
want to be signed.
I will give you a goal, all right? You should be signed before Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. It comes out May 26th,
brother.
So next year.
I started pro wrestling and then turned heel and dropped the mask
before GTA 6 came out.
Christ.
I got signed, released, unmasked, and now heel turn since GTA 5 is dropped, bro.
Nope. Yep. Still waiting on that Grand Theft Auto. The new trailer came out. That's dope. We ain't gonna talk about that today, but
brother, this was gonna drop, and they're not gonna make another one for 50 years.
Oh yeah, it might be the last one. They should just probably just make it the last one at this point. But going back to it, I wanted to ask this question. Say like that does happen, and you do get signed as KJ Orso and this big thing. You start having a run as KJ Orso in like a big company. In your mind, would you like regret a little bit that you didn't change the match sooner if it happened like that?
No, because I think getting signed to AEW was such a monumental moment, and you don't know what you don't know. Hindsight is 2020, and I think I love my life. I love how everything has turned out. Probably up until the AEW release, it was like I just imagined, oh, yep, I'll wrestle on the indies and keep grinding until eventually I get signed, and then I'll just wrestle for the rest of my life.
Right.
Or at least until, for the rest of my career as a big deal. But you can't control what happens when you get signed. You're not the boss. You're not the booker. You're not anything that. And it made me realize when I got there, I got to see how the best in the world, treated this business. How often they're eating, and I got to see how they execute things. Execution wise, and I'm proud of all of that. I'm proud of my Fuego run. Right, May 24th, 2014 to April 18th of 2025. I am proud of that run. Damn proud of it. I had some of the best matches of my career. I created moments. I made memories. I'm proud of it. However, once people see what I have in store in the next 6 months to a year, everyone else is going to be saying he should have took off the mask years ago. Everyone else is going to be saying the same people who doubted me and told me at first that don't do this, the few people that I actually trusted enough to tell my idea of what was going to happen, even they are going to be saying, oh my God, I was wrong. You should have done this years ago.
Yeah.
But I think this was the perfect time, and it happened at the perfect moment for me. And everything that happens from here on out is going to be my vision and what I want it to be to begin with.
That's another thing I want to touch on, because obviously we got the fan reaction, right? Obviously we a lot of people excited for Cage, KBW fans, not people who are not KBW fans, just excited to see that, they want to see, because I know a few people out there wanted you to take the mask off as well and switch the character up in some way. So we got the fan reaction out the way. What did your peers think about your the unmasking? Like, I know you talked to a few guys didn't want you to change. They wanted you to keep it going, and they didn't think it was a good idea. So
I'll say it right now. Tony Khan did not want me to unmask. Tony Khan did not want me to take this mask.
Is this recent, or is this like just back?
Oh yeah, I mean, here's the deal. I come up with all of this in December, really. December of 2024. I got in my head that, hey, I want to be a part of Spring Break. Joey Janela's Spring Break is the biggest indie event of the year, the biggest indie show of the year in America. And I want to be on that card. And I've kind of earned my way up the card, up the ranks of GCW. So let me just tell the booker right now, 6 months in advance, that, hey, I want to unmask, right? And he immediately was like, damn, that's a big deal. He's like, we got to make it big if we're going to do it. And I was like, you're damn right. And then literally 2 weeks later, I go to AEW for some darks, right, for a dark match. And I tell QT Marshall, my longtime friend and mentor, a longtime rival as Fuego del Sol. And he's like, don't do it in GCW. Do it with me. What if we did it in a Ring of Honor pay-per-view? What if it was like me and you wrestled each other, you lose, you take off the mask, and then you turn heel on Sammy afterwards? I was like, I love it. I was like, I'd love it. Of course, I want to do this here. He's like, let me go pitch it to Tony Khan. Right? He goes to Tony. He talks to Tony. He comes back to me, and he goes, Tony doesn't like the idea. I'm like, what? And he's like, you got signed in front of millions of people. We established you and Sammy's friendship. There's stuff that maybe you could do with Sammy and Dustin because, they're tag champs. They can do stuff for them down the line. Honestly, at the end of the day, he's basically saying he values you more with the mask than he does without the mask. And I looked at QT and I said, QT, how much does he truly value me if I'm not working here full time? And that was in December. And then I went back for 2 more shows in February. I went back. I wrestled Wheeler Yuta on a Ring of Honor show. And that night, after I wrestled Wheeler Yuta, I went up to Tony again. I was like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but I talked to QT, about the unmasking. He told me you didn't like it. He was like, yeah, I just don't think you should. I think, it'd be hard to bring you back as Fuego if you unmask. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I don't, that's why I wouldn't want to. I mean, if you sign me, I'll be Fuego for as long as you want me to be Fuego for. I just feel like to really create value for myself, I need to switch things up. And he was like, we can talk about it some more next week on Wednesday when you're here. And I was like, okay. So then the next week I wrestle Blake Christian, and we're doing it in Dallas or maybe Austin, and they're going bananas for me. They're chanting Fuego out the wazoo. Me and Blake Christian have a great match. I come to the back. I walk up to Tony Khan and say, hey, what do I need to do to get signed here? What is it that I need to do to get signed here? And he was like, you're killing it right now. You are. You're really killing it right now. Things are just hard. Things are just really hard right now. He's like, you know what? But like, stay in touch. Stay in touch. Talk to me. Talk to QT. Stay in touch. And, and then as soon as he said that, as soon as he said stay in touch, in my head, all I thought about was last summer when I went back to Ring of Honor in the summer of 2024. And I went there for 5 dates in the best shape of my life. Killed it. They gave me some wins. We did some stuff on Ring of Honor television that I liked. And you know what I got told at the end of that 5 weeks? I got told, you're killing it. Stay in touch. We're going to have you back. And I heard nothing in August, in September, in October, in November. In December, I saw they were coming to Kansas City. And I asked QT myself. They didn't ask me to come. I asked, can I show up? And QT got me a match. So it's just one of those things where it's like, I can't wait around hoping that you book Fuego every 6 months when y'all come to town. I'm trying to create value for myself elsewhere, right? I'm trying to get signed elsewhere, anywhere really. But if you're not going to do it, I vowed to myself when I said, hey, what do I need to do to get signed? And he said, things are hard right now. I vowed to myself that moment that I will never, ever ask Tony Khan for a contract again. I did it once back when I first got signed. I did it now after he brought me back and, didn't sign me. If I ever work for AEW or Ring of Honor again, it'll be because Tony Khan wants to hire me there, not because I asked Tony Khan for a job. And is that a little blunt? Yes. Is it disrespectful? I don't think so at all. Tony's a businessman, and I'm just trying to create business for myself and my family. And I don't think that's crazy to say. I clearly, maybe right now, he thinks I'm a stock and I'm a low stock. But I'm investing in this stock, and I know it's just going to rise and go through the goddamn roof. And when I'm a millionaire, I know that I made the right decision, regardless if he doesn't see it right now. I'm just investing early, and I advise everyone else to invest early.
I agree. I think, and I'm not just talking about Tony, but, people want to use you in life when it's convenient for them. And, I feel as though his mentality in that situation is, well, I can always bring Fuego in and out to these matches and use him for a big pop and then don't have to sign him. But that doesn't benefit you long term. That doesn't do anything for you. And, you had to take that risk. You had to make that leap. But to kind of pivot back to everything we just talked about, I think everything does happen for a reason. And it's kind of like you said with the you don't regret the signing with AEW, you don't regret being Fuego. I think it's the perfect time to be KJ Orso, the perfect time, because I don't know if you would have had the same, kind of like you touched on earlier. You weren't Fuego swole then. You didn't have the build. Now you're more ripped. You got the body. You got the look. Who knows if you would have had the same reaction as scrawny KJ. So I think everything happens for a reason.
I think it all led to this moment. I think I've matured as a man, as a wrestler, into my body. I'm more well-read. I'm smarter than I've ever been before. I think everything in my life and in my career led me to this point, and there was no better time than the time I ended up doing it. And I think as determined and persistent and as hardworking and as basically stubborn as hell as I am to make this work, that it's going to work. And even if that means it screws me over in the short term of working in AEW or Ring of Honor, it's going to pay off for me in long term when I'm a world champion and a millionaire one day.
When we millionaires, my boy.
Come on now, talk to me.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, like, that's wise words for everybody to hear. Like, if I hope people stand up for themselves like you did. You can't let these people who like have power and have like, oh, they own the company, so they know what's best all the time. You gotta like actually stand up to sometimes and like, hey, like, this is what I want, and you don't value me, like, that's cool, that's your choice, but also I'm gonna make my choice as well. Like, you're not gonna make my choice for me. And
sometimes people don't see value in you
yeah,
until others see value in you. And sometimes people won't see value in you unless you see value in yourself.
exactly. Yeah.
Right? And I think I was always my own biggest critic. I got to AEW and I saw how good all of these people were. And it made me doubt myself and made me question, or made me realize too that I'm not doing enough. I'm not working out enough. I'm not wrestling enough. I'm not training enough. And it made me realize what I needed to do to get to that point. But now I am positive that I'm one of the best wrestlers in the world. And now I'm gonna prove that there's a lot of guys that you love that definitely don't talk as good as KJ Orso talks. And like I'm gonna prove that on a weekly basis on the indies. And I know people will call you crazy until you do it. They're gonna call me crazy, they're gonna call me dumb, they're gonna say, oh, he's got stupid, crazy dreams. But then when I'm the one who's crazy enough to actually fucking pull it off.
Yeah. And that's another thing too that I was thinking about. There's another angle going about it. Have some people want to put you in also like in a box where like maybe Tony Khan didn't want this because he maybe he knew inside that this would be the reaction, that you would get like a big thing about it. And he was like, no, I don't want that. I want to put him in this like where I see him, and like I don't want anybody else to grab him, whatever, and have you uh have you where he wants you and like stays. It's like, oh, I always had this guy in my back pocket. I know Sammy likes him. Blah blah blah. Or anybody like in the way. Would you ever think like just looking at a reverse angle, like they knew this was gonna happen, but they just didn't fully see? Because like there's a lot. Before you say so, because the reaction is because everyone's like, oh, he's so handsome. Why would he ever have a mask? And obviously, you talking to Tony Khan and everyone backstage like without the mask. Why didn't they see like the whole charming and the handsome and the promo KG Orso when you were backstage, and not and but instead of like, oh, Fuego goofy.
I spent 5 years of my life worrying about what Tony Khan thinks and trying to figure out how that man's brain works. I will never waste any more energy on that. I think, again, I just got this hairstyle. I just grew the facial hair. Maybe last year when I showed up during the summer, he should have seen it. Everyone should have. Like, I got it from every angle. Everybody's, damn, you look so much more jacked. Damn, you're looking good. Holy fuck, man. Well, how's life going? You look like you're living, right? And it's like, I don't know. I think a lot of times people, you know how it is. People just don't see the same vision you have for yourself in your head, right? They just don't. They can't fathom it. They put you in this box. They section you off in their brain as this person and put invisible glass ceilings above your head, even though they've never even seen you attempt to break it, or that you even know that you have aspirations to go above it. But I've always set very high standards for myself, but no standard that I've set for myself I never thought I could not achieve, right? I'm just that type of person. I'm a go-getter. I wake up with the deck stacked against me, with the odds not in my favor, and I somehow come out on the other side with a winning hand every single time. And maybe it doesn't go exactly how I want to go, and maybe I don't get all the wins, and maybe there's a bunch of stumbling blocks along the way. But I can look at myself today in the mirror and know that I am a complete pro wrestler. I am a complete human being. I'm a damn well associated man, you know. And again, I just won't worry about the past. I'm only set on the future. I got so many shows coming up as KJ Orso. I got so many ideas that I want to execute as far as storylines and promos go. I'm only scratching the surface of what I know is coming. And so someone is going to be smart enough to recognize that and sign me up. I'd rather worry about them and worry about what they think compared to, dwelling on the past and what people didn't see when they should have saw it.
That's a good answer. I like that because you don't want to dwell on it. You want to. This is a new step.
I can't change it. I can't change that guy's mind about Fuego is dead. Fuego's done. It's over.
And
he had the potential to be great. He could have been a star. They all fumbled it. They all dropped the ball. They fucked up.
There you go.
And now KJ Orso picks up that ball and he runs that summer bitch into the end zone over and over and over and over again. I got my foot on the gas and my other one on your throat. And I ain't gonna let a damn person breathe, bro. It's time. It's my time. An old KBW theme
I was
song.
about to
It's
say,
my
it's
time.
my time.
You heard me? Speaking of theme songs, baby, everyone's been asking if they don't know yet. Hello World is coming back.
Yes, sir.
It's time. Now, who knows how long it'll play because I want the microphone. During my entrance, give me the mic and let me talk my shit. But if you listen to the chorus of Hello World, it is absolutely indicative of where I'm at right now in my career and what my mindset is. Hello World, I heard you've been looking for me. I heard you've been waiting on me. They've been waiting on Cage and they've been looking for Cage for 11 years. Well, guess what? He's here. Hello World. I'm here and I'm here to stay. Hello World. Sometimes the world turns to ugly, but this world, it ain't gotta love me. Cause it's cool, cause I'll be okay. Hello World. Right?
Get that tatted.
I don't give a damn. Yeah, I'm a bad guy now. I'm a heel. Call me what you want. I don't think of myself as that. I think of myself as a man on a mission who got stepped on and overlooked and walked over for a long time. And now I'm just getting my get back. I'm getting even. I'm doing the same thing all of these people did to me, and I'm going to do it better than they did it. Simple as that.
And I think
I
it's,
love it.
I think it's so awesome to see because that goes to show your mentality and the way you've always been compared to maybe other people. Some people might look at it like, oh God, he's got to start over or he's got to, it's a big risk, yada yada. But you already
Bro, real quick before you finish your point. Well, let me tell you what Mr. O. Let me tell you what my father said.
Oh
to
yeah.
me, right? I think it was like a week before I unmasked, or maybe it was right after I unmasked. But he goes on the phone and he doesn't mean it like it came across. But this buddy is like, man, hey man, if nothing works out, if this is it, you've had a good run. And I'm like, Dad, what that? You don't think I'm gonna be successful anymore? He's no. I just meant. He's like, man, it's just such a big, he loves the thought of me working for AEW. And I just know he meant like, okay, maybe I burn my bridge here for at least for the time being. And so he's like, man, he just wants me to have a good life and be able to take care of his grandkids. So it's like, but he basically, the way it came across is like, oh, you think this is over, brother? No, this is just the beginning, bro. We're just getting started. Like, but continue.
No, I mean, that's exactly what I was saying. I mean, that's the mentality right now, right? You got your dad, Mr. O, who's like, well, I'm not saying he was thinking like that, but like you said, like, oh, it's over, he's got to start over. He might not make it. Whereas you're like, refreshed almost like with the refreshed mentality. Like you said, you already got all these ideas of what you want to do. You already got just things buzzing in your mind, and you're not. To me, I'm not saying you're not scared at all, or you weren't scared before, but it's like I said, I believe before already. It's just refreshing, and it's just you get to be truly you. I think.
Without a doubt, I feel like I'm re-energized. I'm reinvigorated. I've been reborn. I've been, it is like all these, any type of way you can put it. Like I definitely have been, it feels like a reset, but in a good way. It feels like I'm just starting, but this time I got the cheat codes to all of it. Does that make sense? It's like people don't like, it took me 11 years to build all this. I'm not burning this to the ground. I am now standing on top of all of that and starting forward a new direction. But, and again, we're only in the embryonic stages of this.
Yeah.
It's like so new.
It's so fresh.
They don't even know.
Yeah, that's another thing I wanted
They don't even know, bro.
I wanted to ask you. So eventually, like, you get to where you are, you're like 34 years old, you're in a big company, whatever. Do you still want people to like remember you as like, oh, you came for being Fuego, or you just kind of want that to kind of die out eventually?
No, because like I look at it as like, one of my mentors is Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
You look at Stardust and you think, holy fuck, how did they let that guy, why did they let that guy sit there and paint when he could have been this?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
That
You
makes a
know,
lot of sense. yeah.
Cody left WWE. Cody left WWE at 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's so
Ironic.
similar to the same like time frame, right? Right, where he left and wanted to go bet on himself.
Yep.
And even though I'm not leaving AEW right now, it's like
Still betting on yourself.
I am starting something exactly. And like leaving so like having this stench of like jobber comedy goofball, and now trying to recreate myself as the main event guy that I want to be.
Yeah.
Right, wearing suits to shows, only trying to invest in long-term stories, trying to win championships and take myself seriously. Someone said online, "Oh, we supposed to believe you're a tough guy now?" I said, "Never once tried to act like I'm tough. I just want you to know how smart I am. Smart enough to be a world champion, smart enough to be a main event player, smart enough to know that, hey, I don't need to take these risks and bumps and you don't have to look at me as a tough guy. But if I kick you in the nuts and now you blow me, I don't care what size you are. You're going to be scared of the man I am now because I got the advantage and I'm standing over the top of you and I'm a man on a mission. As simple as that.
Oh yeah, you gotta let them know. And that's another thing.
Gotta let them know.
So I want to so we got that out the way, but I want to get into some more fun things. It's just like so obviously you've been babyface, Fuego for so long. Now you finally gonna be, a heel. It's gonna be a totally different dynamic and different set of matches now. You'll be wrestling a totally different style, new move set, I'm sure. How is your mind going into like your first few matches as Cage Warrior? So do you think like you gonna have some like weird like muscle memory, like you want to try to do something like at a certain point, or you just gonna be like so driven that you're like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I'm gonna be doing and how I want to my character to portray.
I have a vision for it, but until you're in front of the lights
Yeah.
and try to do certain moves and things and structure it, like the first, I would say probably month and a half, 2 months, it's going to be me figuring myself out in ring.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be like, it's just experimenting. It's going to be experimenting. And I think that's fun. It's also a little scary, but I know how to structure a backside of a match to make it look good no matter what. However, like the submission hold that I have in mind and like, is it going to look good? Am I going to have the stamina to pull it off? Am I going to be able to keep the facial expressions and things that I want? Am I going to be blown up? Like, am I going to be able to tell the perfect story that I have in my mind? Is it going to be as good as I envision it to be? And so like, that's what I'm going to play with. But like, of course, it's going to be a bunch of new moves, but I am confident in the moves I'm going to do. Like, I already have a lot of the moves that I want to start doing more laid out. I know I'm a good striker. I know
Yes.
I'm a good talker. I know I'm a good seller. None of that changes.
Right. What about?
But no, like,
I was gonna say, what about like the comfortability of
Go
it? Because
ahead.
obviously you're so used to having the sleeves, your tights, your mask on. Like it's just like you're just so used to it. Now it's
oh boy,
that's
I don't
it's
know
so-
when this
it's-
is gonna go out because like
it's all.
I haven't told everybody what I'm gonna be wearing now.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, obviously you're not gonna be wearing your Fuego gear, so I'm just saying.
Yes, it is gonna be different.
So
yeah.
it's gonna be a different set of gear, but I'm just saying, like, how's it go? What you think it's gonna feel like you're like butt naked out there in a way, like like
a little bit, but like again, it's gonna take some getting used to for me as well.
Yeah.
However,
Mhm.
I'm more excited about it.
Yes.
I'm more like I'm looking at matches now like as a new puzzle that I've never put together. Sometimes I feel like you can rest on your laurels or get lazy and have the same type of match that you've had over and over again and do the same moves that you know you're good at doing. Like I hit that Fuego combo a million times. That line sawed off the middle rope
Yeah.
to a standing opponent. I nip up, I super kick him in the head. I've done that in every match for the last 2 years.
I mean, a lot of wrestlers do.
I've hit
though.
that tornado DDT every match for 2 years. I went for it, So there's certain moves that like I know I'm not doing anymore. No
Yeah.
more tornado DDTs, no more
No.
Fuego combo. Yeah, it's done.
But
I'm
you're
done with
but
the tornado
Cage is the
DDT.
master of the DDT.
Of the DDT. Of the DDT. Now, Cage is the master of the DDT. Fuego del Sol was the master of the tornado DDT.
So now you're gonna be a master.
There's a lot more DDTs
Yep.
besides the tornado DDT.
I got you.
No more tornado. Didn't say no more DDTs. No more tornado DDTs. Cage lives. So the master of the DDT lives. Don't get that twisted.
Yeah.
No, but like I'm looking at it as fun. I'm not even like trepidatious about it at all. I'm like ready for it. I'm ready to be like, okay, these are moves I got in my head. These are the new moves I'm gonna try. Okay, this didn't work. Let's not do that tomorrow or at the next week at the next show. This did work. Let's incorporate more of this in here. People were biting on this. They weren't biting on this. I'm more excited to just talk shit and get booed.
Oh yeah.
Like, I can't wait to piss off fans around the world.
That's what
I can't wait. Oh, I'm coming to West Virginia? Let me look up what West Virginia is most embarrassed about. Let me look up there's a fat, ugly girl in the front row. Let me go talk trash to this tub of lard sitting in front of me. You know what I'm saying?
I do that anyway.
Like, I can use the excuse that I'm a bad guy. I'm all in character, even though all I really get to do is tell everyone how I truly feel, and I can't.
He's not lying, guys. He's actually a fucking psychopath.
I am a
I'm
psychopath.
surprised he's
that.
kept it away so long, you know. But Fuego really, the mask really helped out get this psychopath out the way. But he's here now.
Yeah, it held in a demon. The mask held in a demon, and now I'm free. Now I'm free.
Yeah, this is gonna be so funny, like, cause for so long you're the recipient of heat, right? Getting the boots put to you, and now you're gonna be on the other side of that. You know, you're on.
I'm in control.
Yeah, you're gonna be putting the heat on someone. That's just gonna be such a
I can't
weird
wait.
dichotomy of like the switcheroo.
I'm gonna attack the arm and neck. I'm gonna fuck up so many people's arms and necks. It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah. So
limb work, something that people don't do anymore, cause I'm old school.
Mm-hmm. And also even like
no,
you're so used to your comeback, so you don't really have a comeback this time.
Nope.
So.
Nope, no comeback no more. No springboards. No jumping off the top rope. I might superplex someone off the top. I may never springboard again.
I mean, everyone else is doing it. Might as well stop. Might as well.
Exactly.
Go the other direction.
Exactly. Speaking of which, you talked about earlier, what did some of my peers say?
Oh, yes.
Let me pull up a message from, I don't know, young wrestler. He hasn't done a lot in this business. Maybe you've heard of him. Maybe you're not. Real name, Phil. Actual name in wrestling, CM Punk.
Oh.
He messaged me about
Never heard of him.
This promo that I put out. I don't know if you heard of him or not. CM Punk messaged me about this promo. Let me just read a couple messages. I don't want to expose mine and his messages back and forth, but let me just tell you a couple of the messages that CM Punk sent to me.
Got flex real quick.
Just a little bit. He said, promo is great. Trick is, can you cut a promo that good live? No edits. That's my challenge to you. Really liked it though. You're angry and I believe it. He's like, you're on the indies. When everyone else tries to keep up with everyone else, don't. Carve out your own path. It's not about flips and moves. It's about emotion. The promo is a good foundation for that. I said exactly. When everyone else is is zigging, I want to zag.
Yes, sir.
So that's just a little bit of what we talked about. And that's so cool because like I wore the best in the world shirt on KBW. So it's like, that's crazy.
Really
that
full circle, man.
Oh
that's
my
really
god.
That's really
right?
full circle.
Right?
That's awesome.
Bro.
Yeah.
When your idols become your friends, it's crazy, dog.
Yeah, because
so it's like
growing up,
for him to be like, I like one of your promos. I challenge you to do it as good live, right? That's what he said. He texted me later on. He's like, man, love this. It's got me excited. Like I'll screenshot the messages and send them to our group chat so y'all can see the whole exchange because it was awesome. But like that's just how I feel. Like if I got one of the greatest talkers in the world's attention and he said he liked it, I'm doing something right.
No doubt, dude.
Right? And so it's like, of course, I did stuff for so long, a certain way for so many years. Now I'm going to do it my way. When everyone else is zigging, like you said, when everyone else is doing all the springboards, I'm not. I'm doing my thing. I'm becoming an old school heel like who I loved. I'm becoming a submission specialist, a limb work artist, you know. I am the silver tongue savant. I am on a crusade to crush incompetence.
Speaking of that, in this pocket, you recently wrestled a wrestler like that with Zack Sabre Jr. Do you feel like you learned a lot from him in that match?
So much just because like what I really learned, because like he's a submission guy, but like he treats the match like we're in an MMA fight.
Yeah.
And I think that's so good. Like he never once it felt like I was in a fight the whole time.
Yeah.
Like even when I was down resting or selling, he would come up and kick me in the
He
back.
doesn't give
and
you a
be
lot
like,
of
come on,
space.
huh? Doesn't give me space, and he keeps like this intensity up the whole time. Even when we're like in a rest hold, even though I don't believe in that word, but what some fans would know as like a hold where we're both breathing, he's like fucking with my arm and wrist and like keeping the attention of the audience, keeping focus on what his mission would be in kayfabe was to fuck up my body, and he's just a master at the art of making everything feel like it means something.
Yeah.
And I've always loved technical wrestling. I love to chain wrestle. I love catch as catch can style of wrestling. I just thought because of my size and because of my gimmick, I needed to do more high flying. And now I am not beholden to any of that anymore. You know what I'm saying? I can relinquish all those presumptions that people have about me and wrestle the type of match I want to wrestle. And some nights I might be a little more fast paced, and some nights I might slow it down. And some nights I might attack the neck, and some nights I might attack the arm. You know what I'm saying? And some nights I might do all the old school spots and talk my shit the whole match and strut like Ric Flair if I want to. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not beholden to anything anymore. Any type of, oh, they see a match, they expect a certain thing. There is no expectations. And that's what I'm really excited about.
Hell yeah. So that's just like I said, a full circle moment. Obviously, growing up, we had KBW, huge deal, YouTube, millions of views, and yes, there was a time in our rivalry in KBW in the backyard wrestling. You wore CM Punk best in the world. That was your thing, best in the world. Like I was like, and I was Daniel Bryan.
You were doing the Brian.
I was doing the yes.
And now I'm
chant.
friends with both of those guys.
Yeah.
And now I'm friends with both of those guys. Crazy.
And it's like for him, and that's all I want to say. Shout out to CM Punk for doing that because he didn't have to do that. He could have just liked it and moved on with his life. He actually took time out of his day to message you, say, "Hey, bro, that was good shit," and I respect that, especially with a guy of his nature. He's got a lot going on. He's just main event at WrestleMania. It's just the fact that he saw that. He's like, "Bro, that shit. I gotta say something about that. I gotta let this guy know."
He commented on it. He actually
Yeah, I saw
commented. If
that
you
too,
go
yeah.
to the actual post, you can see that he commented. He put 3 clapping emojis on my promo.
Hell yeah,
So like
dude.
I'm not bullshitting. I'm not making any of this up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm definitely not. It's
That's
just,
so
it's just,
incredible.
yeah.
I'm sorry, kid.
I just-
I'm just
yeah, go
fucking
ahead.
smirking right now because the full circle. I mean, everything just coming to me like you said with KBW. You started off best in the world, CM Punk, and even I mean, it's so ironic and surreal because even with you being Bama Kid with the mask and him kind of being a jobber on KBW and Fuego. I mean, it's just life is crazy, man.
The parallels are crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And now, like I always was proud of KBW, but now I am wearing it on my face. Like people, you can't get away from it. If they watch KBW, they know this motherfucking face. And like I can proudly say, I've always like hid some of the footage and never talked about it enough. And like because I didn't want the kayfabe and the people that didn't know about
Yeah.
me, to know. And so like now to finally mesh all that together and have that same cockiness and confidence and determination that Cage had at 15 years old and put that together with a man known as KJ Orso who has had an 11-year pro career and has matured and become the adult and the man that I want to be, and to kind of mush those worlds together and wear KBW loud and proud everywhere I go. I'm just so pumped about it. It's like it feels
Yeah.
it's crazy the amount of parallels that you can make between it all.
And also, I'm just thinking of like the matches down the line you're gonna have with certain indie wrestlers now that you didn't have chance.
Myron Reed.
Exactly, yeah. Myron, that's gonna be awesome. I know that's gonna happen sometime down the line. You and probably Jordan Oliver. Jordan's back. He's healthy now.
Exactly.
So.
I got to wrestle him as Fuego, but I want to wrestle the same thing with Myron. I got to wrestle him as Fuego, but I want to wrestle him as Cage, baby. And like that's another thing. Just because I'm going by KJ Orso, I'm very. The only reason I'm not calling myself Cage is because there's already a Christian Cage and a Brian Cage on television, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't want there to be any confusion. But I will gladly answer the Cage. I hope guys in promos and stuff call me Cage. I want people to call me Cage.
Well, the thing is, like, you can get away with
My
it.
name is KJ Orso.
Like KJ and Cage.
Because it's short. Cage is short for KJ. That's the whole reason my name is KJ Orso. The whole reason my mom started calling me Cage to shorten it up sometimes. She's like, Cage, come here, Cage. And that's why I chose it as my wrestling name. So Cage is just short for KJ Orso, even though You know, KJ Orson is already pretty short to begin with, but still.
Yeah.
Call me Cage. Anytime you see me, if you call me Cage, I'll answer the Cage. Jordan Oliver called me Cage at the last GCW show, and I was like, you might be the only person ever in a KBW locker room. I mean, in a wrestling locker room. I've had fans do it to me, but I've never had another wrestler call me Cage, and I popped for it. I was like, that's awesome.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, that's sick, man. What a yeah. Oh man, it's gonna be. I'm just thinking of like some dope clashes you're gonna have down the line with some big names on the indies, and also
Tell me.
what's his? I can't think of his name. From Miami.
What's he wrestle like? From Miami, Casey Navarro.
Yeah, Casey Navarro.
No.
Yes. I mean, but
Yes. Me and Casey would.
I mean, he's still is he?
He's in TNA right now.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's
He's signed to TNA right now.
I mean, that could be an opportunity for you if TNA might be.
I mean, we wrestled last year 1-on-1 and it was great.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to do it.
So
But a lot of these guys are heels, so now I got to figure out
exactly
who's the babyface
exactly.
and all this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's another thing I was telling. Like, who's the baby faces now? Since you didn't get to wrestle baby faces as much, that you kind of shit, now I can kind of wrestle this guy because
I wrestled some of them, but like there's a lot of people that I never like in AEW. I never wrestled the Young Bucks. I never wrestled Hangman Page. I never wrestled Kenny Omega. I never wrestled all these guys like that were baby faces at the time.
Yes.
Bryan Danielson, Pac. Like I could have lost to any of these guys.
mhm.
You know, but like who knows if I'll get to wrestle them now? I hope I do. I really hope I do.
Yeah, it's just the possibilities are endless.
I agree.
So yeah,
I agree.
I'm super happy for you, man. I know this has been such a huge deal for you and your family, for the whole world. You know, Twitter sphere, the KBW fans, your peers in wrestling, your actual friends, like everything just coming together all at once. And I love the fact that you got so much love and so much I would say like after the reveal, after your promo, like I feel like 90 to 95% has actually been like positive. There might be a few people here and there still talking shit, but I feel like as of right now,
Oh yeah. I mean, you're always gonna have that 5%. Like if you're doing anything
yeah,
bold, anything new, and you having any type of success, you're gonna have a subsection of haters. But the overwhelming amount of love and positive reception, like even like I said, from the Young Bucks messaged me like, "Hey, bro, this is awesome. I'm happy for you.
yeah,
Betting on yourself." Daniel Garcia messaged me, "Man, bro, I'm so happy, bro. You killing it." Sammy Guevara is like, "Bro, you're gonna be a world champion." Like that, like shit like that means the world to me.
yes,
Cause like this is a risk, but to me it's not a risk because I know I can do it. It's like a man walking across the tightrope who's done it a million times, right? Like to everyone else who don't have the balance this man's got, they think it's
Well,
crazy. But to me, I know I'm making it to the other side.
well, that's the thing now, because with you without the mask, you was KJ Orso. I feel like it was kind of hard for people to like put you in that category with like while you was Fuego, was like a Sammy or Blake Christian. But now since you're KJ Orso, I feel like you're kind of like a part of that. I want to say you're part of that crowd, like up and comer, like you're 29, 30, that age range. Sammy, you got Myron, Blake Christian, like you said, Daniel Garcia, and that age range now, like you can be like that part of that big group coming in.
Future of pro wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like
they didn't look at me like that. They never put the
Exactly, yeah.
respect on my name it deserved, and now they got no other choice.
exactly.
Because I'm doing it for it.
Because like I can see it. Like I feel like you're on that level with them. Like there's no question. Like the up and coming generation coming up, a young, early 30s or late 20s coming in, about to fucking make an impact on this shit, and it's like it'll be the next like big stars
Big thing.
talked about. So I'm excited for you, man. I know it's gonna be. I know the driving passion you have. I know you're gonna make it happen. Everything usually you speak to existence. So I already know that you got big things coming down the pipeline, and I'm excited to see how it all unfolds. So hell yeah, dude. I'm happy.
Thank you,
for
bro. I mean, we've been talking about this since December because
yeah.
I've like given you
I've been so excited
small
to see everything.
details about
Yeah.
it. What did you think when you saw the unmasking and then when you saw the heel turn?
Dude, I watched it live. I mean, I remember telling you, he's like, how can I watch this
Yeah.
live? I was like, I gotta see this live. He's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be on Triller TV, and just it's like a week free subscription or whatever. I was like, oh yeah, I'll go be all over that. So watching the match, I was actually, it's so, it's so crazy. I was more concerned about you because I saw like blood in the back of your head. It's like, did he like hit his head or something? Because I was scared like you like hit the back of your head and you like busted, like I was like, damn. I was kind of because that's why I think that's the first thing I messaged. Like, "Oh, you okay?" Like you like smacked the back of your head at one point. But but after like I felt like my like heart like lifted out of my body for a second. Like like when you took it off. Like and I saw everyone else because dude it wasn't even what got me wasn't even the mask the unmasking. It was when you got pinned and people's reactions like, oh shit, it's happening. He's gonna have to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh
Yes,
fuck, he's gonna have to do.
yes.
I love that.
Oh
part.
my God. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. People's like, oh shit, like he's gonna have to do it. Like it's like I'm about to see something right now.
The anticipation, I really milked it too. Of like I had Sam unmasked, like unlace me, and then I waited, and then I waited again, and then I finally revealed it all.
Yeah, you gotta milk.
And then like there was a chant of like, he looks good, he looks good, he looks.
But yeah, bro. You at least
It was very
you
funny.
didn't have a cane situation where you looked all fucked up and everything.
Put it back on.
But that would have been a
One guy did yell, "Put it back on," which was very funny, very funny. He was trying to be funny.
I'm sure he didn't
because
mean
I'll hook 10 times better than that guy did.
Yeah. But dude, yeah. Oh, but the match itself though, incredible. Like the fucking
One of the best matches of my career. I'm so proud of that match.
The 6:30 and like, oh my god, I just love the sound of it. The sound was so dope. Like it's like a big hit.
Bro, and then like a piece of the door flew at the camera, so it almost looked like 3D-ish,
Yeah.
bro. Like the chair went flying towards the
And
camera.
it looked so fast.
very
too.
cool.
So that was dope.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he had you. What's that movie? He ran off the stage with you.
Oh yeah, the brain hemorrhage.
Yeah, through the table.
Oh no, you're talking about through
Okay,
the table off the stage
off the
was
stage.
the air raid crash.
Yeah, that. Yeah, that was.
I think that's what busted my head open.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I thought that looked like it was gnarly, bro. Then
That did suck. Yeah.
like you did hit your head on that.
I don't know. I still don't know where I hit my head at.
Adrenaline
I've been
rushing.
watching the match multiple times.
I thought it was the 6:30.
I've watched the match multiple times. No, I only hit my arm. I've slowed it down multiple times. I only hit my elbow and tricep
Okay.
on the ring on the 6:30. And like I super tucked my chin. I did not hit my head on the floor when I landed.
Okay, I got you.
I super tucked my chin. So
So it had to probably be that then, if that was the case.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if it was like any of the other chair shots or anything that happened because he hit me over the head with the chair once.
Yeah.
He like it could have been one of those where like the back of the chair hit me and like just scraped to my head. You know what I'm saying, or something like that. So like
I would
really
say
need to go
this,
back.
that I-
but besides all that, the match was
Oh yeah,
phenomenal.
but I really appreciate like it could have went very wrong, but I feel like y'all hit it perfectly. Was the finish when you hit the?
Oh, yeah.
you hit that perfectly. I was like, bro, that like you couldn't have sold that even more. It's like you landed right on top of it. So I was like,
Yeah.
I
That's crazy because that was my 5th match of the weekend.
yeah,
Right? Like I wrestled 5 times in 3 days.
because I was kind of like, oh my god,
and like
I hope they don't like fall off because he was tasing you. So I was like, so he's already shaking. So I was like, oh god, I don't want them to like mess up or anything. Then like
it reminded me of like I don't know if you saw that clip that kind of went a little viral last November when I wrestled that other mask out and I hit that reverse Rana off the top rope, the poison Rana.
yes,
Where I looked like I murdered him. And like as I was stepping up to the top, I did a little shake.
yeah.
And like it looked like I was gonna not get it, and then I jumped and get it. And it's the same thing I felt like I did there. I stepped up to the top rope and it looked like I was like, oh, and then we went. And he hit the brain hemorrhage on the trash can after I got tased.
Yep.
Uh
That was a good finish.
which
that was a nice
he
finish.
he really tased me by mistake.
Oh my
He
god.
didn't mean to tase me, but he really tased
Oh my
me.
God.
First, he tased himself too. He tased his own finger and me, and he went, ah, fuck. So we both got tased.
That
We
was
both got tased.
That's so funny. Did you actually tase Sam or you didn't tase Sam?
Huh? Yeah, I tased the fuck out of Sam. I tased. The big man needed it. He deserved it.
But yeah,
I'll explain all that
Oh,
in Rochester.
oh, yeah.
Y'all should watch Triller TV.
for sure. Then so yeah, man, that whole match was great. Then like you said, the whole because I feel like a lot of people didn't expect you to put the boots, and I feel like people was like, oh, he's just gonna walk out with no mask, but I feel like people was like, oh shit, when you took the boots off.
Yeah, it's one thing to think, oh, well, he's just doing a new chapter of his career. It's a whole other thing to think, oh my God, his career's over.
Yeah, it's like
what?
yeah, it's dead. Like it's
Yes.
dead and gone.
That's why I felt like to really get the most buzz out of it as possible, to make as most headlines as possible, to make people want to go back and watch the match, I needed to leave my boots in the ring and let everyone think that I was done. I tweeted it out, Fuego was done, right?
Yeah.
To try to let everyone know, because I didn't lie. I never once said the word retirement, retiring, retire. I never once tweeted that, said that, anything.
Yeah, it's just implied.
I
by
just
people.
alluded to Fuego is done, because Fuego is done. I never lied about that. and I left my boots in the ring.
It did take
Well,
you a minute to take those
yeah.
boots off, though.
They weren't my boots. Here, that's the problem, because they weren't my. I borrowed someone else's boots because I didn't want to leave shooter shoes in the ring. I wanted to leave actual boots in the ring.
Yeah.
And so I borrowed someone else's boots, and I guess I tied them too tight because I was also trying to sell the emotion. So like I'm trying to just nonchalantly unlace them, and it's not coming unlaced.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm trying to sell that I'm like crying almost. I'm like, what the fuck? Now I gotta focus in on this. So then I try to take it off real fast, and it still won't come off. I'm like, fuck. So now I gotta unlace it some more for real. And then I finally got it off. But I was like, Jesus Christ, this is too much. But I loved it. I think it came out perfect.
Oh yeah.
It was the perfect send off for Fuego del Sol.
And bro,
Jesus.
it's crazy because we knew. Me and AK knew. I mean, you told us, you were coming back as KJ Orso, you coming back. But when I was on your Instagram looking at all the comments, hell, Sammy even sold the hell out of it when he posted a picture of you and him. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
Black
this
and white,
man's really
yeah.
fucking retiring. He lied. He's
Yeah.
really gone. He's done.
Bro, my dad, who knows everything, texted me and was like, I'm not gonna lie, man, I got a little emotional saying you take your mask
I
off.
did
man.
too,
I was
man.
like, dang.
It's just like it's a big moment, like we.
It's an end of an era.
Yeah.
It's an end of an era. It's the beginning of a new one, but it's the end of an era as well.
Yeah. But that's another thing. I feel like I know there's different emotions involved, but I feel like the most person or people that was crushed were your kids.
Dog, my oldest is 8 years old. You would have thought
You-
I killed her dog, bro. You would have thought I murdered her pet.
I was
Bro, for weeks, because like me and my wife had been talking about this.
Mhm.
For weeks, we were talking about, hey, it's coming up, I'm gonna unmask. She's like, I don't want you to unmask. I was like, what? She's like, I don't want you to unmask. I was like, I'm sorry. She's like, no, Dad, you gotta be Fuego del Sol. You can't not be Fuego del Sol anymore. I don't want you to be Fuego. And then like anytime it came up,
Mhm.
she would almost be in tears or run to her room or like start crying.
Damn, man.
Because like and then like I got home from Vegas and she's like, I'm mad at you, don't talk to me.
Oh my God. She does not agree with this
Right?
at all.
I think now though, it's been 2 weeks. She saw me turn. She saw me come back. She's seen photos. I think she likes wrestling so much that she can't ignore like when I'm watching clips of stuff of things. And so like she's used to it and we've tried our best to explain it. But like I just remember when Shawn Michaels turned heel on Hulk Hogan when I was like a young kid.
Oh yeah.
And like
You like
2007 maybe. I'm like,
what?
I think I was maybe 12 years old then, but I still was heartbroken that Shawn Michaels turned heel on Hulk Hogan.
It's like,
And so
how
like,
could
in
you?
a lot of ways, I mean more. Fuego means more to her than Shawn Michaels meant to me at that age, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Not only that, like she with Twitch streaming and stuff, she's known as Baby Fuego. She's only grew up with. She didn't know Cage.
Exactly.
She didn't know. Yeah, she's only known Fuego, so it does feel like a piece of her childhood is dying.
oh,
So it's
you
sad.
fucking
That's like-
monster,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
It's like you took away like if she like
I love it. I can't wait to make more kids cry. I can't wait to yell at little kids on my entrance and make them cry. I love
this is
it.
gonna be taken out of context.
I.
Someone's gonna clip this one thing out the whole podcast. It's like this.
Oh, just wait. I'm gonna do so much more bad shit.
Oh, man.
I can't wait to look like the bad person.
Yeah, man. It's a new leaf, new chapter.
But exciting.
Yes.
So exciting, bro. Like oh my God, I'm amped up. I'm gonna go to the gym after this and lift 1,000 pounds. I just feel
you
so
feel like you want to
pumped
run
up
through a
about what's
wall.
coming.
That's what people say now.
Brother, I felt like that after the match that I lost my mask. I felt like it couldn't have went more perfect. I was ready to run through a wall then. And then if you could have bottled up
Mhm.
the way I was feeling, the electricity I felt when I attacked Sam Stackhouse and turned heel, if you could have bottled that up,
Mhm.
brother, you could have lit all of Africa up with lights,
Yes.
I don't know
dog,
about
because
all that.
I was amped to the max, dog. You don't understand how amped up I was, dog. It was crazy.
There's one thing I actually hadn't even talked to you about yet. Like we didn't even text or even I just because I completely missed it, but I want to talk to you about it now. The intro with everyone coming out with the masks was so cool. Like, who came? Did you come up with that or?
Well, yeah, a couple weeks prior to that, he was telling me, Atticus Kogar was telling me that he was going to do a big entrance for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, I got to come up with a cool entrance. Maybe I get a bunch of people with masks and come out, right?
Yeah.
But like, so I packed a bunch of masks up with me to bring to the show, but I didn't have enough guys. Like, I didn't know
Yeah.
who to get. So like, there was a few guys from Texas that I talked to that day. And I was like, hey, y'all are my friends from Texas. Do y'all want to be a part of this? They were like, yes. Right? And then I just grabbed two random guys that were sitting in the audience. There was a guy filming Sabu's like production stuff. And I was like, hey, I hate to stop you from filming Sabu. Can you do this for like, I don't know, 5 minutes? And so like we had to rehearse it literally like as doors were about to open for the show. I was like, hey, we put tape all up on the stage. Like all of y'all stand here. Y'all stand here. Y'all just do this. Right. And like I had two guys that I really trusted. One of them drove to Vegas with me.
Yeah.
Another one was a guy from Texas I really like. I kind of put them in charge of it. I was like, hey, y'all kind of say, hey, 1, 2, 3. We walk forward. We do the tornado symbol. I was like, I thought it was a cool visual. I got them all GCW shirts. So they were wearing GCW shirts, all different Fuego masks. They were all doing the tornado thing. And like, this guy had like targeted my mask. It was for my mask. I thought, why not showcase all my masks one last time?
Yeah, I thought that.
And it kind of worked. It looked cool at the end of the day. It was like
did.
my John Cena entrance where he had all the guys doing the.
Yeah, I thought that was brilliant. I was like, oh wow, this is like dope. Like I was like, and it kind of hit.
It's something new. It added to the ambiance of the whole story. Like it felt like our match meant something.
Yeah, and also like that's when it actually hit me. It's like, oh shit, he is losing the match tonight. It's like this feels like a big, like it's happening.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So man, yeah, that was great. I thought that was.
You only saw things on social media, Dut, right? So you didn't even see everything, right?
Yeah, I didn't expect that at all when I was watching it. But yeah, Dut, what's your final thoughts and everything?
Yeah, from afar, taken on everything. What do you think?
Well, I just want to say first of all, just the different reaction I had because AK watched it live, and I watched it on social media. My initial reaction when I seen it was, holy fucking shit, he actually did it. I mean, I knew you were gonna do it. We talked about you doing it, but I was just like, holy fucking shit. But final thoughts about the whole situation is just, I think it was the best decision. I think it's the best decision to move your career forward, and I'm super proud of you. And I know how great you are and how even greater you're gonna be. So I'm just excited, and just people don't even know it how great it's gonna be.
Hell yeah.
Agreed. I didn't know how long we were gonna talk about all this because like I feel like we also should let everyone know that like AK is getting married and we just had a big bachelor party for him, and I want to talk about Miami.
Yeah. We went to Miami.
And like I know this is technically this is a KBW adjacent because I'm Cage again, and so it works for the KBW podcast, and we want to continue the KBW podcast, but we've already covered a ton of topics about KBW, so we do also want to transition to another podcast called the 3 Ps Pod. We're 3 Ps in a podcast, and have our own thing. So if you enjoy conversations like this where we talk about more real life stuff, please give this a like. Let us know in the comments. I still want to give y'all something, even if it's a 30-minute KBW podcast where we cover something, or at least more reaction videos. For the people that have been subscribed for over a year, we thank you. We sorry for the inconsistency. AK had marriage stuff going on. Dut had a bunch of health stuff going on. And of course, man, my schedule's just been crazy busy. But I have been itching. I've been begging the boys to get the pod back together. So in some form, we're going to try to keep bringing you this stuff every week, or at least every other week. I'm not going to guarantee you any schedule right now, but we want more KBW pod. We want more us 3 on camera podcasting, and we hope you enjoyed it as well. Right, boys?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I'm excited to do more pods. And I know we always say that at the end of these, and people's like, oh, here they go.
Oh, here they go again.
This is going to be the only one for a whole 6 months or something.
Now, actions speak louder than words. If I say right now, boys, I'm committing to it, and y'all commit to it, I think we'll make this thing happen.
Yeah, and like, also like we just gotta let them know, like, we're very busy people. It's a lot of things going on right now in our lives. Like I said, I'm gonna be gone for 3 weeks in July. This is what it is.
Yeah. So me and Duttle podcast, just us two
for my wedding coming up. So that's just gonna be a thing. I'm gonna be out for a while there. So It's just a lot of.
Then we got to do a podcast all together in Ireland
Yeah,
for AK's
and
wedding.
blog.
When we get together.
Oh yeah. So it's gonna be. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up, just the life stuff, and so we'll try to get some pods in there. But I don't want to promise they like, oh yeah, we're gonna be here every week, you know. So we just try to get them do as many as possible for everybody.
Hell yeah. Is there anything else y'all want to end? Oh, I also should just say I'm going to make Royal Rumble 3 public for everyone to watch it. So when it goes live, share it, talk about it, comment on it. I'm gonna make it it was for members only. If you wanted to watch the third ever Royal Rumble, even though it was not technically a Royal Rumble, but everyone who's watched it talks very highly about it, saying, "Oh my God, this is so great!" Releasing it on the main channel. Well, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna release Royal Rumble 3. Y'all definitely check it out. Go give it another watch. And let us know what you thought of the heel turn, of Cage coming back, of me retiring, of the podcast being back. What you think about us starting another podcast called the 3-Piece Pod, and all that. We want to hear your feedback. Again, thank you for all the members. I'll try to list y'all up on here. I'm trying to even list a bunch of members that showed up and disappeared over the last few months. But I want to, give you all credit, and we just thank you all for showing us love and support. Because the goal is to get a KBW reunion show together soon enough, and so we're gonna do it. I know it. Maybe in 2025 if I can string it together. We'll see.
Hell yeah.
All right, boys. Y'all happy with it?
Yeah, we are. I'm happy with it.
Hell yeah, boys. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us on the KBW podcast. I have been formerly known as Fuego del Sol. I am Cage. I am KJ Orso. My two colleagues, Dut the Bulldozer, and AK-47. We thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time on the KBW pod.
Peace.